Hey guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my homemade recipe for cookies and cream ice cream. This is the best cookies and cream ice cream you'll ever have, I promise you that. Forget about Breyers, forget about any other brand. Once you have this, store-bought just won't be the same. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our creamy and delicious vanilla base. In my pot, I'm going to go ahead and add in some milk. Whole milk is best for this, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in some heavy cream. Now my heat is on medium-low, and what I'm also going to be adding to this is some cream cheese that is nice and soft at room temperature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut up little small cubes of my cream cheese just to make it help it break down a little bit faster into the milk and the cream. Then I'm going to give this a stir and let this just simmer away for, maybe 5 to 8 minutes or so. Stirring it every so often. You really want to babysit it. You definitely don't want your heat on too high because the cream can split and you definitely don't want that. In another bowl here, I have some egg yolks, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add in some granulated sugar. And of course, all the amounts will be listed below in the description box for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take a whisk and whisk this together until my mixture here becomes pale in color and it becomes nice and thick and luscious and amazing. So after just about a minute or so of mixing it, it's beautiful and pale in color and thick. I'm going to go ahead and add in a good splash of vanilla extract. You can also use vanilla bean paste in this, and I'm adding about a good half a tablespoon in this because I really want that vanilla flavor to come through in the actual base of the ice cream. So after I've done that, we're going to go back to our milk and cream mixture here that is on medium-low and been cooking for about 8 minutes or so. I'm going to take this egg mixture that we've mixed up, and I'm going to take some of that cream and milk that is nice and hot, just about a ladleful or so, place it in my eggs and quickly whisk it together to temper the eggs. So when we do add the eggs back into our milk and cream, it won't cook and scramble our eggs. So after I mix that thoroughly through, I'm just going to add back in the eggs to the milk and cream. Give this a nice mix, and we're going to cook this for another 5 to 8 minutes, just until this custard thickens up beautifully. You want to keep an eye on it. If you have any chunks of cream cheese in your milk here, just go ahead and press it towards the side of your pot and just keep stirring this and let it go for about 5 to 8 minutes until it's really nice and thick. And when you stir it, you can see if you take the back of your spoon and you run your finger through the custard, if it stays separated, then your custard is good. Remove it from the heat and let it cool for about 10 minutes or so before we run this through a strainer. We're going to go ahead and strain this just to make sure any chunks of cream cheese and everything, whatever, any eggs or anything got cooked. We're going to make sure this base is nice and smooth. So there's some chunks of cream cheese that did not thoroughly melt. So what I'm going to do is take my spoon and press it through the strainer and then get the remaining bits from the bottom, get it into my mixture. Sieve, strainer, whatever you call it. So I'm going to let this sit at room on my counter here for about another 10 minutes or so before placing some cling wrap on top of it and making sure that my plastic wrap or cling wrap is actually touching the custard. I'm going to place this in my freezer for about 4 hours or so. You can place this in your refrigerator for about 8 hours, but I think the freezer method is much quicker. So that's what I'm going to do. After that has been nice and cooled, I have some cookies here. These are chocolate sandwich cookies. You can use Oreo or any brand that you like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and crush these with a rolling pin, cream and all. So I'm going to take my rolling pin and just give this a nice crusheroo. I like big chunks of cookies and smaller chunks. I like a different textures in it. So you can go ahead and crush them as much as you want. Now the insert to my ice cream maker is nice and chilled. Follow the instructions on your ice cream maker. And then I'm going to go ahead and place in that cooled and chilled custard. Don't worry if it looks like any chunks of cream cheese is in there because it will all get blended together beautifully. Get that all in there. And then we're going to put our lid on this and let this go for about 20-25 minutes or so, depending on your ice cream maker. Mine takes about 25 minutes. Still, it's nice. It starts coming like soft serve ice cream, and then we're going to take that crushed up cookies that we did and just gradually add it in. Now, I like to add half at one time, let it mix in, and then add the other half so it gets thoroughly mixed in and all of the cookie crumbs are running through it, and it is so good. I'm telling you, Breyers, take a step back because this is creamy. After I've had, after I started making this and I went back to store-bought, I just felt that it was just watery, watered down ice cream. Just wasn't the same. This is really, really rich. It's creamy. It's delicious. It's got cookies running through it, the perfect texture and consistency. The cream cheese in there just adds another layer of flavor to the ice cream, which is amazing. I'm going to place this in a freezer-safe container and freeze it for about a couple hours because it's still kind of like soft serve at this point before serving. And that is it. This recipe is so good. I hope that you guys give it a try. Don't forget, all the amounts are in the description box below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Let's get started. Mommy made this my favorite ice cream of them all. And I'm just going to taste this. And I'm going to be her taste tester today. Okay, this is perfection. I'm just not even gonna stop and talk because this is just